Welcome to another episode of Cinematic Anarchy, where today we are going to be discussing the movie Dracula's Daughter with our guest today, Meg. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am exhausted. It's been a long day. I spent my day, well, it was my daughter's birthday, so.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
We were at, it's not mine, but I'll tell her. Yeah. Her birthday, she just turned 27 today. So that shows you how old I am.
Oh, wow.
I have a 27-year-old. I had my child when I was 22, or my wife had my child. I had nothing to do with it. That was 5 seconds of my effort and 18 years of hers.
Well, for 27 years of joy, presumably. So, I mean, that sounds
Yes.
Yeah.
Serenity, you don't watch the show, but you're a fantastic kid. Happy birthday, Our young adult, I'll stop calling you kid one of these days. Probably not anytime soon, because calling her kid makes me feel younger.
Well, then you have to continue.
Exactly. And, okay, so we're talking about Dracula's Daughter, 1936 American vampire film, directed by Lambert Hyler, starring, I haven't got the starring information up here, do I?
I know Gloria Holden is Dracula's daughter. And then I want to say Otto somebody is the doctor? Dr. Jonathan...
Otto Kruger is the doctor.
Oh, Jeffrey Garth. Yeah, there he is.
Then we have Marguerite Churchill, I believe, is Janet. Marguerite Graham Churchill. It's the other gentleman whose name I'm forgetting. And it does not seem to be...
Oh, Sandor? The guy who plays Sandor?
Yes, there we go. Irving Pitchell.
Yeah.
That face, I remember him from several things. That face.
He's so punchable. And his stupid little bellhop hat the entire time. Like, I love that she's like, I'm going to be an eternal vampire patrician goddess, and I'm going to make you dress like a monkey bellhop. And it's like, no wonder he's angry at her the entire film. I don't know. I love it so much because he's like Lurch, but uglier. And I feel bad. I've seen...
Oh, sorry. I thought it was like a fez or something like that he was wearing.
I'm sure it's meant to be a fez, but all I could see looking at it was just sort of like an old-timey bellhop's costume.
There was a part, like, when he meets Janet, when he convinces Janet to come back with him as under the disguise of under the disguise of my brain is going off in left field, the Countess being an artist. See, that's the part that you cut out. That's the part I normally would cut out, me stammering, and I'm not going to cut it out. I'm going to continty to talk about it and not cut it out.
For realness, I like it.
Like I said,
Lily,
my ADHD brain screwed with this. So they brought back, was it Lily?
Yeah, Lily is the art model, the suicidal
Lily was
model.
The art model that they brought back, and the costume that he wore reminded me a lot of that old. Actually, it would have been the Adam Baldwin or Alec Baldwin movie, The Shadow, that whole outfit that he was wearing.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that.
I thought they were maybe trying to go for a Humphrey Bogart thing, but no, it really didn't look like that.
He's like the most unsettling part of this movie about a lesbian lady vampire. I can't. His whole deal, him being sort of mean to her at the beginning when she's like, "Now I'm cured of my curse," and he's like, "No, you're not. In 5 minutes, you're going to be biting ladies and sucking men dry." He's just crapping on her. It's like, give her a chance. You don't know. Are you the Dracula expert, Sandor? You don't know shit. Like, calm down.
No, he is the Debbie Downer the entire film.
He is. He sucks. He sucks so much. He sucks more than the lady vampire whose whole job is to suck.
And then he finds out that she's going to try to give eternal life to Dr. Garth. And he's like, no, fuck that. And he goes after him, bow and arrow and everything.
Immediately. One disagreement, and he's like, well, I guess I'm going to murder her now. Like, just one. Like, really, in your whole employ, you've never had, like, some give and take? Nothing? It's just right to the arrow to the chest?
It's like, you guys have been, like, you've been with each other for, 100 years, they said, because she's been alive for 100 years. Has he always been her consort or something to that nature?
His whole deal, I feel like they leave it pretty ambiguous, just that he's still a human man and he doesn't want to be, and if he serves her faithfully enough for long enough, I guess, she'll bite him.
What was that, other stage of vampirism? They showed in a couple of different movies, Death by Temptation and that horrible movie Vampire in Brooklyn. It's like a ghoul. You're not quite vampire yet.
Oh, yeah. The kind of Renfield-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you have
Halfsies.
the where you don't quite have the immortality.
That's interesting because I feel like I don't know that he has any powers in this other than driving a car. Like that's his his magic skill set to assist her in her vampiric misdeeds.
He has the power to ultimately depress anybody who happens to be in the room with him.
Yes. He is such a little bitch. When he gets shot at the end of the movie, it is my spoiler alert for a 70 what 90 a 90-year-old
movie. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Almost
when
100.
he gets when he gets shot at the end, it is the happiest moment I have the entire time. Like, I love the movie. I cheer when he gets shot. He sucks. And I feel bad. I've seen photos of this actor, like, as himself, and he's not ugly, but in this, he's the ugliest motherfucker I have ever seen. I hate his face.
It's like they were trying to go for Dracula. Like, they told him he was going to be Dracula in the film. And they're like, "Nah, fuck you. We're gonna give you the makeup, but we're making you the sidekick." And he just went through it pissed the entire time.
Yes, we're gonna give you 4 men's worth of eyebrows, and that is your entire makeup for this movie. Like, congratulations.
I don't even know. Like, were they? No, I can't even say. This is maybe where Eugene Levy got his idea for his eyebrows. Just the fuller, the better.
Poor Eugene.
Eugene wears it better.
He does. Eugene Levy is a very handsome, distinguished gentleman. This guy, I want to punch in the nose. This guy, like, I don't know how this guy procures young women for Dracula's Daughter, for Countess Maria Zaleska, because if this guy approached me on a bridge, I would mace the shit out of him. I have no, like,
well,
I'm not going
it
with
might
him
help
anywhere.
that mace probably wasn't invented back then.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I don't
mace
know
back then would have been an actual mace.
An actual flail.
Yeah.
If I had a flail, I would flail at him, because he's so unsettling. Like, nothing that this woman does is as unsettling as him just walking up to this Lily character on a bridge and going, "I have a lady who would love to paint you. Come with me down this dark alley." No, sir. No.
I mean, some of the women in this film are a little naive, to say the least.
Oh, dumber than a sack of rocks. Yeah, absolutely. I feel really torn about the relationship. So the main relationship in the movie, obviously we've got Dr. Garth and his assistant Janet, and it's one of those 1930s, she's a sassy dame and she works for him and she's going to give him the business and, like, tell him how it really is, while also the movie and Dr. Garth treat her like a child and like an idiot. So it's just, I feel really emotionally torn every time I see it, because she's obnoxious and she's cool, but she's cool the way, like, a 13-year-old boy would be cool.
Like, making prank phone calls back in 1932. I got elephants that are singing pink men. What was that?
It's so weird. It's so hard to figure out, because it does feel like, on the one hand, I guess I'm glad that she's just not, like, passive and sitting there and, like, pining for her doctor boss. But on the other hand, she's so silly, the way that a child is silly, because she really does, as you said, make a prank phone call to the doctor because she's jealous that he's treating female patients. Like, she has no reason to believe at this point that he's either sexually interested in any of his patients or that this lady is a vampire and is going to hurt him or anything. He's just doing his job. And she's like, "That woman's got better eyeliner than me. I can't have that." And it's like, I don't know how I feel about this, because she does have some great lines where she's, like, giving him the business and is like, "You don't know how to take care of yourself, and, like, I'm going out of my way to do all these things to to get his attention, like, for work. Like, he just wandered off to Scotland to have, like, a fun weekend, and she's like, "You have a job. You have things to do. I had to go out of my way to plan to get you to do my job to help you do your job." Like, she's efficient and good at her job, but she is, like, an actual baby of a person, and it's just so weird, because you want to like her and see her as, like, a sassy proto-feminist character, but she's really not. She's just like a cool boy with an attitude, like a kid with an attitude. She should have a backwards baseball cap this entire movie. Like, that's her whole vibe.
The entire time, I'm just thinking to myself, why this guy? There's a lot of men. A lot of men.
Yeah.
Why this guy?
Yeah, there is. I mean, other than he's not as ugly as Sandor, there's very little to recommend Dr. Garth.
The men in this movie are not attractive.
No.
Even remotely. The women are attractive. The men are not attractive.
Yeah. Even for a 1930s movie, you're gonna have to lower what you're looking for in attractiveness to bear looking at them on screen.
Like, there's obviously some attraction on Janet's part towards him.
Yeah.
But I don't see even a remote amount of sexual attraction to him towards anybody.
No, I think honestly, it feels more like, well, Janet takes care of me. She takes care of me on a work perspective. And also she seems to like me as a potential mate. So I'm cool with that, I guess, because she knows how to do my tie. And I bet she'll keep me fed and happy. It feels much more transactional from his point of view.
He seems to be oblivious. He seems to be that guy that just kind of goes throughout his day. And then the woman happens to be there doing things.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he's not cluing into that person's feelings or even seeing what she might see in him. He is just moving throughout his day, and she is there, but doesn't really have any consequence to what he's doing until she does something to him.
Yeah. Well, except she's like taking care of him. I think that's the funniest part, is it's when she gets kidnapped at the end, it feels more like, oh no, this person that takes care of me. I can't break a new one in. I guess I better go get this one from Transylvania. I guess I better go on a plane and grab her. But yeah, it doesn't feel like, it's not like a great love story. It's more like, okay, all right, she's here, I guess.
Quick question. Quick thought. Why did Dr. Garth kill Lily?
So I think it's entirely unintentional, and I think it's because of the Countess's spell. So later in the movie, we have Janet under the same hypnotism spell that this Lily character is under, and when Dr. Garth is trying to like shake her awake and like yell her name into her face, like that's gonna wake her up, the Countess is like, that's not gonna work. The only way to get out of this spell is by me unhoodooing my hoodoo or death. So I kind of feel like that's her explaining the death from earlier. Like he was trying to use his regular hypnotism skill set, and that brought her out of it just enough to say, here's exactly where she's hanging out in London.
But she was wide awake.
Yeah, but it's only for like a brief second. And I think the way that I interpreted it was like, she's out cold under the spell. He brings her up just enough for her to go, she lives above a bookstore, and it's not enough and the spell gets her. That's of the way that I took it. As like,
I'm asking this because I'm actually playing this in the background. She was wide awake when he walked into the room before he hypnotized her. She was wide awake. She was fearful. Then he hypnotized her, and she died during the hypnotism.
Yeah.
So
I just sort of took it as like there's deeper magics than what he has, and that or the blood loss was so intense that she only had like 20 seconds of life left in her, and it may be that
was that who she bit when she was talking like there's blood all over this, and she handed him Sandor, the cape, saying there's blood all over this.
Oh yeah.
So that's who she went after.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm putting one and one together. Like I said, I had an ADHD problem with this film. I've only watched 3 films that were black and white for this movie, for this podcast. One was an old film called Attack of the Monolith Men, or Monolith Creatures.
Okay.
Which was a weird movie. And that was brought to my attention by a friend of ours, Omar. The other one is not technically a black and white film. Technically, it's a more modern film, Mallrats. It was all done in black and white. But the purpose
I've still somehow never seen Mallrats. I'm a big fan of
not Mallrats.
Kevin Smith.
Clerks.
Okay.
The original Clerks was all done in black and white, but that was because he wanted to do it as if it were done through the perspective of security cameras from around the property.
Okay.
And then, of course, now I've watched this. So I think that I've been ruined by modern pacing. So my brain... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you. I got overexcited.
My brain goes off in left field sometimes. I'm sitting here and I'm watching a movie, and if the pacing gets a little bit slow for me, my brain goes, I think there's about 5 other things I was supposed to be doing. So,
See, that's how I feel about the 1970s ones. We watched a couple of those for the podcast that Rachel and I do, the Gare Can Get It podcast, and it's always like someone is pulling the fingernails off of my hands. I can't get through a 70s movie to save my life. This, I feel like, is slow, but in a different way. I don't know. It, like, there's so many languid shots, like close-ups of her where her face is glowing and she's wearing all these like dramatic draped gowns and she's posing in every scene. And so I feel like I can get into the slow, dreamlike nature of it better. But in the 70s, it's just sort of like, here's 40 minutes of watching corn grow, and I can't, like, it stresses me out.
I think back in the 30s, you have to look at it from the perspective of the film. This kind of film was still fairly new. So you're still getting a mixture of stage actors versus actual actors, like film actors.
Yeah. Sure.
So everything you're getting is primarily people that were used to doing stage plays, so on and so forth, but they're doing it in this, I guess, realm now. I guess that was the point that I was trying to make. So it's a different kind of pacing, going out and watching a stage play rather than watching a movie. And a lot of these felt more like stage plays, like something that I could watch, on Broadway or your local theater.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're totally right. This definitely feels much more like a play in terms of all the like discrete little scenes and and the way that the pacing is done. Yeah.
Sorry, like I said, I've got this thing playing over here to the left, or nope, this is my right. I may have had a few drinks while I was out before I came home, so you're getting me slightly tipsy on top of all that as well, and trying to remember a movie that I ADHD blanked the first time through, and then the second time through, I basically watched the colorized Kung Fu movie version of this.
I still can't believe that there is a colorized version. I saw, we were talking earlier before we started recording, but I saw maybe 20 seconds of the colorized version that you sent me, and it made me want to throw up. It was too bad.
I feel like this was like pre-Ted Turner colorization of films. Like they were just kind of testing out colorizing old black and white movies because it was really badly done. Like Ted Turner, for all intensive purposes, actually kind of popularized the colorization of black and white films. And he did a decent job for the most part, but whoever took a hold of this film and decided to add color to it, it's like they kept sneezing halfway through in a few areas. It's like, oh, well, we'll just leave that there.
Oh my God.
A little black and white bled through over here. I don't know.
I think the one scene I saw, you could tell there was one of the scenes where there's like three men sitting on couches and they're all discussing like what's to be done with the murders and the fact that Dr. Van Helsing might go to prison, which I love. Like that's one of my favorite parts of this movie. But they've colorized the back of one of the men's heads and it bleeds into the back of the couch, into the wall behind him, and then it flickers into black and white like every 10 seconds or so, and it made me nauseous. I was like, it feels very unofficial. It feels just like someone was learning how to colorize movies and they were doing this for funsies in their basement at night, and somehow it ended up on the Internet Archive.
I'll bet you this is one of those things that they did as like a one-off to put out like this film colorized in a dollar store somewhere on DVD, just like you used to see that in the Dollar Trees or whatever. You'd walk in and there'd just be like this thing of cardboard DVDs just sitting there, buck a piece. You'd pick it up, and you always saw that movie, The Terror. Jack Nicholson. You'd either get the black and white version or the weirdly colorized version of that. And I think colorizing it always made it feel worse.
Yes, somehow cheaper and crappier. Absolutely.
Like the slow pacing of a particular film always felt worse when you colorize the film. Like black and white, you almost felt like it was stylistically the right way to go, even though they didn't really have a choice. So colorizing it just made it feel painful to watch.
Yeah, well, it's like a weird falseness about it. I don't know. Like if I'm watching it in black and white, I don't care what the colors were of like the clothing that you're wearing on the wall behind you. Like I've got the gradients and I'm happy with it, and everything just feels like extra heightened and extra dramatic. And then for whatever reason, the way that the color looks to me when they colorize it, it does always feel like, what if we just slap some clown paint on top of everything? That's cool, right? Kids love clowns. Like, and it's just, it's like the exact opposite effect of, you know, when you look at like a Roman statue now and it's just all white and it feels like very, very regal and very serious. And then you see what they would have looked like in ancient Rome with all the crappy colors all over them, and they just look ridiculous and silly and gaudy and terrible. That's like what it's like when they colorized this movie. They're just like, what if we take something super cool and we just uglify it? We just uglify the shit out of it.
Also, I mean, you have to keep in mind, some of it might have been true to color, because the amount of makeup that they had to put on some of these actors, I'm guessing made them look pale and terrible in real life. Yeah. So you kind of almost have to guess about skin tones and hue, and sometimes you end up making them look like some little kid got in their mother's makeup and they just decided, look, I'm pretty now, you know?
That is exactly what it looks like. Everyone's skin color is just wrong. No human person has ever been that weird shade of like baked peach that they all are. It's just awful. It's so bad.
It's like, no, honey, put down the makeup. You look like Mimi Bobek. I'll explain the Drew Carey show to you another time. That was my opinion of my daughter's first attempt at putting on makeup. I don't know if you've ever seen the Drew Carey show.
Oh, yeah, Mimi, yeah.
Mimi, yes. Mimi Bobek with the very, very loud makeup. Yes. It was a joke the entire show. And that is exactly what my daughter looked like when, I hear cats.
Yeah, sorry. Yes. You may have to edit this part out if I
Somebody's calling for food.
Somebody's calling for, sorry. I'll be 1 second. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, be elsewhere. Boop. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm back.
That's all right. Cats interrupt. I get it. Did Rachel ever tell you the story of the first podcast that they were on with us?
No.
We did Joe versus the volcano, and about halfway through the podcast, my cat comes in, and I didn't realize he kind of hopped up on the table. I was using a laptop to do everything at the time, the most archaic, asinine setup that I could have had for this. And this is why they extended me the olive branch of helping us out with Riverside and so on and so forth, because I was basically recording only audio through a speaker into a microphone from my laptop, which was just ridiculous. It was because I am technically stupid with a lot of things, so I couldn't figure out how to get everything set up. But Cat hops up on the table, didn't realize he knocked the wire out of my laptop.
Oh, no.
And so we're doing the podcast, and then all of a sudden it just cut out. The whole computer went down. I had to bring it back up. It killed everything that we recorded, and we had to go back over it again.
Oh, my God.
So he's like, well, we're not going to do that again. So why don't we go ahead and we'll help you out. You pay us a little bit, and we'll split the costs down the middle. And they've been great about it. So,
oh, awesome,
good people. And now I'm airing our transactional relationship over a podcast. And hey, Matt, hi, Rachel, how are you? And yeah. So this film in general, I did like it. It was not a bad film. I don't have any complaints about the film, and then that's unusual for me because I like to pick things apart pretty badly, outside of the fact that this is probably the most unattractive male population in the film that I've ever seen. Like, there isn't maybe one good-looking guy in the Transylvania scene, like, that just kind of pops up, but you don't even notice him because the girl next to the two other ugly guys is also very good looking. And so it's like all the women in this film, they're like, well, we need beautiful women. Well, what do we do with the men? I don't care.
Schlubs all around.
Do you have somebody that looks like they got smacked with a shovel? That's great. Let's do it. My favorite guy in the film has nothing to do with any of the main characters. It is literally the bumbling cop from the beginning.
I do love that they're like, what if we make this kind of a comedy? Not in every scene, but we'll like throw in a couple of like, it's the cops and then the butler for Sir Basil, the Scotland Yard guy. They're just like, what if we have some comic relief in our sexy Lady Dracula movie?
I'm trying to remember who he reminded me. I think he reminded me a little bit of Laurel from Laurel and Hardy.
I can see that.
Oh.
For whatever reason, look, I don't know if it's his face or his voice, but he made me think of John DiMaggio, the voice actor.
Okay.
And like, I don't know what, he's kind of like just a slightly overset blonde-haired guy who's like good at doing comedy, and so my brain went there, I guess. But yeah, I love that even in the 30s, we're like, what if we have smart cop and lazy stupid cop? And like, that'll be our little duo, and we'll just like have a hilarious little jape to start this movie.
I would say more a lazy stupid cop and cop that kind of thinks he's smart.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah.
He was more of the arrogant guy that's kind of dumb anyway, but the arrogance makes up for it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I did like that when the less stupid cop was like, what are you talking about? The bodies are gone and there's like stuff moving in the little morgue room. Like, you're a dummy. You're full of shit. And he goes in there and sees like a giant pulsing area on the ground. His response is still to crap his pants and like run away. And I'm like, aren't you the police? Like, aren't you supposed to be protecting these bodies? Like, shouldn't you maybe like poke that with a stick or something? Like, shouldn't you try?
It's rats. Yeah, we don't have rats here.
This person-sized hunk of ground that is pulsing in front of him. He's like, oh yeah, no, it's rats. Yeah.
It's like, then the sergeant, I guess. What is he? The sergeant?
The guy that says rats and then also
basically the keystone cop, the whoever the hierarchy is, the higher man in the hierarchy is there. I don't know what he was. He was a sergeant or something.
Yeah.
Basically just like, no, we don't have rats here. Looks at the mountain and goes, yep, I got to leave now. Bye. You deal with this.
Too spooky for my pay grade. Piecing out. Yeah.
That whole scene, everything with the cops, I loved.
Yeah.
The rest of it had some pacing issues.
But I think it's so interesting that that's where they chose to start. Like, they're immediately after the end of the Dracula movie, and they answer the question that I feel like we don't often ask with vampire things, which is, okay, what now? Because, like, if you're in, like, a Buffy universe and they just turn into dust and ashes and things, like, okay, who cares? But if you're not, you have a guy on the ground with a stake through his heart, and you're standing over him. I feel like the cops should have some legitimate questions about what happened here. So I appreciate that they're like, oh, hey, Dr. Van Helsing, I think you murdered a guy. I think you have to come with us now.
Right. It's like, well, I didn't murder him. He was already dead. What do you mean he was already dead? How long? He was a vampire. He goes, okay, well, how did the question of him, how old he was, come up?
I don't remember. I remember him giving the answer of like, oh, this guy isn't just new dead. He's 500 years old dead. So technically not a murder.
He's been dead for 500 years. Yeah. That's why I stuck him in the chest with a...
Yeah.
Okay. If he's been dead for 500 years, how did he kill this guy over here?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I like that it's one of those where they sort of like will accept that this is a vampire, but they're treating a vampire as just like sort of a sick lady. Like their ability to understand like supernatural things seems like it really wanes, waxes and wanes. Like,
yeah,
I like that we've got the psychiatrist going like, what if you just thought really hard about not being a vampire? Have you tried that? Have you tried not? And she tries it like for 1 hour with Lily, and she's like, but I really like this girl's like neck and breasts, so I guess I'm damned forever. Like, I tried it for 10 minutes, it didn't work. I guess I'm still a vampire. But the way that this doctor deals with her the rest of the movie is still very much like, I'm dealing with an incorrigible woman, which, as we all know, is just a very dumb man. That's how brains work. And so I'm dealing with this very dumb person, and I'm just going to talk to her very sternly about how she cannot kidnap people and make me into a vampire, and that's just not going to happen. Like, it's so very weird that he like knows she's a vampire, but he's still just like, well, but she's also a woman, and so therefore I'll just out-reason her with my big man brain, and this will be fine. It's such a weird response he has to her.
There was a whole scene that I had to look up for some reason when he's talking back and forth with Janet. And basically she says she changes her mind. And is like, I can't stand when women change their minds. Can't tolerate it.
Oh, I hate a vacillating woman.
A vacillating woman. That's the word.
Yes.
And I looked at it and I went, vacillating. I know a lot of... I consider myself fairly intelligent. That one went over my head. Like, I had to go look the word up. I didn't know what the hell vacillating
like, how often
meant.
do you hear vacillating? Like,
Never.
Not often, no. But it's like a fantastic word, and it's so dismissive.
I am going to be using the word vacillating now because I had to make the effort to look it the fuck up.
Well,
So,
that's, you know.
It was just like, we'll go back to that other episode I was talking about, Joe versus the volcano, Flibberty Gibbet.
Well, that's something that you never, ever hear. I mean, come on. If someone called me a Flibberty Gibbet, I'd be like, are you 85? Like, what? Like,
But I think these are words that should be used again, not for any other reason than to confuse the fuck out of people when you're talking to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, an old-timey insult does have a little extra sting. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if someone doesn't understand it, then you're both insulting them, and then they get to feel like a little extra dumb for not understanding the insult, but they know an insult is buried in there. I mean, that's chef's kiss. That's a twofer.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I say we bring back Flibberty Gibbet and vacillating.
Absolutely. I will not vacillate on that.
Good. I won't either because I'm the one that brought it up, right?
I will be a non-vacillating woman on that subject.
I'm trying to think of who this guy reminds me of, though. Otto Kruger. He reminds me of a modern actor, just like Gloria Holden kind of reminds me a little bit of Angelica Houston.
I feel like if you took...
Oh, I know who he reminds me of.
Okay, who?
Bing Crosby. It's not a modern actor.
Oh! Okay, I hadn't thought about that at all, but the second you said it, I was like, yes, correct, same face. I was thinking if you took Tom Hiddleston and you hit him a couple of times in the face and you fucked him up just a little bit, I feel like I could see Tom Hiddleston playing the modern version of this. Like, we do a remake today. I can see him because I feel like he's the kind of actor where he could be pretty shitty as a character, and you as the audience member would still like him a little bit because he's Tom Hiddleston. Like, he would right. Still have like a little bit of residual charm or riz, as the kids say. Like, there'd be something in there where you'd be like, okay, I don't like the words coming out of your mouth. I don't like your attitude, but you're Tom Hiddleston. Like, I will accept it. I will give you some rope to hang yourself.
I can't even know if I can give him that, though. I really don't. Like, I don't think he has a lot of charisma in this film.
Yeah.
Everybody around him does.
Yeah. Well, I will say there's definitely more charisma that Van Helsing has, which is surprising because he's only in the movie for a couple of scenes, and he's just sort of like the inciting incident of, I'm an old man and I'm on trial, and so instead of a lawyer, I want a psychiatrist. Okay, bye. I'll go take a nap now for the rest of the movie. But he definitely has more, like, he's more compelling on screen. Like, I feel like I want to hear what Van Helsing has to say, and I don't always super care to hear what this Dr. Garth has to say. But I feel like the movie thinks he's compelling. The movie thinks he's like, you know, the traditional male lead saving his hot secretary / future wife from a sexy Eastern European woman. I mean, I think the movie thinks he's something.
Did Dr. Garth steal Sandor's outfit at the end of the movie? He's wearing basically the same thing, like the hat, the jacket, everything. It looks the same, like the same thing that he wore when Sandor tried to pick up Lily.
I hadn't noticed that. I guess I kind of figured it was his, like, I'm traveling and I'm serious outfit. Like, he had to have an outfit change.
It's not a good outfit change.
I will say, okay, so the first time I watched this movie, I remember thinking, wow, they really, like, Gloria Holden, everything that she's wearing looks great. And now watching it again, I feel like they gave a lot of attention to the Janet character's wardrobe. Like, she's got that full-length mink, and there's, like, silk, and there's, like, flowery brooches, you know, coming off of her breast and her hair. Yeah, yeah. And everyone else is just kind of wearing, like, bolts of cloth. And I think maybe it's just that Gloria Holden is so statuesque that you throw a bolt of cloth on her, and it looks like designer couture. Like, it looks amazing and stunning. But really, like, watching what everyone is wearing afterwards, it's like, who dressed you? Who dressed anybody in this movie? Because you paid a lot of attention to Janet, and then everyone else got rags. And like I said, little tiny bellhop hats.
It's like Julie Andrews from the Sound of Music. It's like, I realize these are curtains, but don't they look fabulous?
Yes. Yes, and they only go so far. Like, if it wasn't Gloria Holden, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. Because, like, I was watching it more closely this time, and there's one scene where she's got, like, a little dress on that goes all the way down to her wrists, and she's got this, like, Dracula-esque sort of cloak on her shoulders with her little stand-up collar, and she's being very regal and patrician and standing and, doing her poses. And when I watched it more closely, I was like, that looks like fucking Jersey. It looks like Jersey spandex. Like they just like, and I know it's in black and white, but it feels brown. It feels like it would have been brown just based on the grading of the color. And I was like, this is so ugly, but you are so amazing and you're just posing just right. And you're just making this really hideous dress look like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I mean, like, it's all pleated on her chest, and she's like, I know this is not a visual medium, but she's like standing off dramatically and staring, out windows. And then when you actually like take a look at the details, you're like, this looks like crap. This looks like a second year sewing student did this as like a project, and then somehow it ended up being used in this movie for this beautiful actress.
Yeah, and I think that was it near the end, she was wearing this cloak that looked like they could have made it out of like a burlap sack.
Yes.
It looked terrible, but it looked great on her.
Yes. It's so weird because, like I said, the first 2 times I saw this movie, I was telling people about it because I was like, the costumes are so good. You have to see these beautiful costumes. And now the 3rd time I'm watching this movie, I was like, what was I smoking? What was I thinking? This is terrible. There's 1 fur coat and like 2 feather hats, and everything else is garbage. Like, I can't.
Don't forget that bellhop hat.
I can't. I close my eyes and I see it. He's like the elevator operator in hell. He just looks like shit. He's just so hateable.
He looks like, now I'm trying to remember his name. He looks a little like a slightly paunchier Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay. I can see it. I can see it a little bit. I think about it. I think about him more as like, what if Lurch, but a dickhead? Like, that's kind of the whole vibe that I get off of him. But I can see Tommy Lee Jones too.
There's another guy that I was thinking about too. Grumpy Old Men.
Oh, Jack
Walter
Lemmon and Walter Matthau.
Walter Matthau. He looks like Walter Matthau, but with the wrinkles just kind of smoothed out.
If you took Walter Matthau and said, we're going to put you in a Frankenstein movie, and you put Frankenstein's monster makeup on Walter Matthau and then a tiny bellhop hat, that would be Sandor.
Yes. So.
We are not underselling his ugliness. It's just such a bizarre character. I mean, like, so I love that her whole thing is, I don't want to be a vampire anymore, because I feel like you never think about that as kind of a vintage vampire thing. You just think about the vampire as like the other that's terrorizing all of us, the normies. And you never think about the vampire having like their own feelings about the vampirism. Like, they just, it's like they're cats and cats are cats. And I don't care if the cat doesn't want to be a cat. That's just what it is. Right. That's kind of how I think about it. So to watch this, well, she has really strong feelings about like, I don't want to be this anymore. And I'm hopeful that with Dracula dead, maybe I won't have to be this anymore. I think that's really like very cool and interesting, but it's just like with Sandor, his whole motivation of, I'd like to be a vampire and I'll serve if I have to, and then maybe I'll get my wish. I feel like neither one of them really gets like as much in-depth treatment as what I want. Because she's like, I don't want to be this, and I'll try for 10 minutes. It didn't work out. Okay, I guess I'm a vampire forever. And he brings up his motivation like 1.5 times of like,
he's committed more to his motivation than she is in this film.
Yeah.
Sandor was willing to basically kill Dr. Garth to keep him away from her because she had decided, you know what, I'm not taking you into eternal afterlife. I'm going to take Dr. Garth with me. If I'm going to be a vampire, I'm going to take him.
Yeah.
Which,
I like
fair play. I wouldn't want Sandor around for the rest of my life either if there's going to be 500 years attached to it.
Right. I will take the dickhead doctor over him 10 times out of 10.
Like, first time some guy says to me, if I like look in my eyes, what do you see in me? And the guy looks at me and goes, death, then I'm done.
He's such a prick. He's such a fucking prick. Like he has no what's the word? He has no like ability to try and seduce or charm her or even be like mildly friendly to her.
It's no bedside manner at all. Just
no. It's like we have a deal, and you're not honoring your side of the deal. So I'm just like, no part of the deal was me being nice to you. It was me driving you around until I was, I don't know, however many years of service you're supposed to get out of me, and I will be a prick to you the entire time, and I will crush all your dreams. But I've worn your stupid little hat, and I've driven your car around, and so therefore you're going to bite me and make me a cool, immortal monster like you, even though you seem miserable at it.
He's like that guy that hangs around women and systematically breaks them down by insulting them because he feels it lowers their self-esteem and makes them not look elsewhere.
Yes, he negs her. He absolutely negs her. Oh, my God. He's like a pickup artist. I don't know why I never saw this before. You've just blown out a whole door in my brain for this movie. Oh, my God. Yeah.
He's like, I don't want you to look at other men, so what I'm going to do is make you feel as bad about yourself as possible and make you think I'm your only option.
Yeah. No, he is definitely like the slimy creep where he's never gotten attention from anybody else, but he's gotten his claws into her. And so he's making her feel like she needs him. He is invaluable to her whole life, where it's like, she could walk. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's London. Like, she could walk around. She doesn't need you in your stupid little car, like Googling at her from behind lampposts and shit. Like, she doesn't actually need you, my dude. But he's made her think that she does. And then, anytime she has any hope of a life without vampirism, which is to say a life without him, he shits on her. He shits all over her dreams. Oh, wow. He is a bad boyfriend.
He is.
Yeah, we figured Sandor out.
Except for technically, he's not a bad boyfriend. He's basically the bad friend-zoned guy.
Yes.
Because she doesn't look at him in any... There's like no attraction. He happens to be the guy that makes sure she gets in the box before the sunlight hits, you know?
Yeah.
That's his sole purpose. And she kind of does look at him for a little bit of advice. Like, look, I can play music again. I can play lovely music. No, that's definitely not lovely music. That music is laced with death. It's all about death.
Oh, I forgot that scene. That scene is so fantastic because she has just like one little sliver of hope and she's like, look at this. I can play piano again and I can play these beautiful songs that have hope and joy. Because obviously we all know one of the many tropes about vampires is the only music they can play is spooky vampire music. You try and put them at a piano and go like, play Billy Joel, and they can't. Their fingers cannot hit the keys.
No, it's all Bauhaus, you know, just...
Yes. Yeah. So she's like, look, this is kind of cool. And like, I thought the music was fine. I thought it was, it wasn't like super dark or spooky when it started. And he's like, no, fuck you. That's scary vampire music. You're wrong.
It's misery. It's death. That's all it is. Don't worry. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, okay, you're right. Oh my God. All I can play is death. You know,
he is such an actually guy. He needs a chin strap beard and a little fedora. That's what he fucking needs.
I mean, he almost has it with that monkey hat.
No. I know. I feel like we're like charting the actually guy through history. You know, like he started with the bellhop hat, and then he will eventually end up with the chin strap beard and the fedora, and like we're watching how it goes.
Like
it's
in the remake of this
even in
film.
the 30s.
In the remake of this film, now,
yes.
If they eventually do it, he'll have the chin strap and the fedora.
Yes. Oh my God. And he will get all of her victims by being like on internet message boards.
I could see what's his name, Josh Gad playing this character, just
yes,
being absolutely miserable.
Yes, an absolutely miserable woman-hating prick who got his claws into like the one sad vampire lady who would let him anywhere near her. There's
no possible way you'd get this statuesque woman, but somehow she's let you in her orbit, and the only thing you do is make sure she doesn't go anywhere else. Just, can I ask you advice? Yes. Here's my advice. You suck. Sit down. That's.
Yeah. Well, it's because I think that she, in the remake, she lets him near him because he's just a loser guy that happens to drive a hearse. Like, that's just his car. And she's like, well, that kind of fits my vibe, actually.
But you happen to have a basement that's dark and there's a box in it. I'm going to put it down there. That's all I needed out of anybody.
Yeah.
You live at home with your parents? Yeah, I do. Okay, that's fine. Do you have a box in the basement? Good. Okay, I'm going to be in here when the sun goes down. Occasionally, I'll ask you, what do you see when you look in my eyes? You say death. Okay, that's our relationship.
Mom, I got a girlfriend. Oh, yeah, the horror comedy remake of this in 2026. Like I'm here for it. I want it so
You
badly.
know who could? Oh, I was gonna say, what's her name? Is it Allison Janney? Could kind of do the vampire character.
Yeah, she's tall and statuesque. I
She's
could
got the
see that.
tall, the
Yeah,
statue, and she's honestly like they always try to downplay how she looks. She's kind of a good-looking woman.
yeah.
They downplay it if they kind of played it up to this point. I think that she could do this with no problem. And Angelica Houston is a little bit older than this character would be at this point.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen her acting in a couple of years. I feel like if we really want to get her in on Dracula's Daughter, it would have to be sooner rather than later.
It would have had to have been like 10, 15 years ago when she was still doing things.
And I feel like, so I feel like in my stunt casting, I go Anna Faris for Lily.
Okay.
Because I feel like, big eyes. And I don't know, I'm trying to think, I feel like maybe, Emma Stone, maybe for the secretary. I feel like she could be good at doing the quick sassy one-liners. And also in our modern remake, maybe her boss is not just straight up misogynistic to her the entire movie.
Sassy one-liners. You're talking about Janet, right?
Janet, yes, yeah, the assistant.
Margaret Qualley.
I know that name.
The one that was just what was the name of that movie that she just played opposite of Demi Moore?
Oh, The Substance.
And then she did another movie recently where she played this kind of sassy character. Yeah, she was a lesbian sassy character in it, but
that'll work. That'll work. That works with the vibes of this movie.
If I can find the name of the movie, I'll send it to you. It was not a great movie, but she was great in it.
Okay.
If it makes any sense.
I feel like I remember reading a review, but I know what you're talking about. She's like doesn't she kill people, or isn't she?
No, she doesn't kill people. She plays opposite of Aubrey Plaza, who is the murderer in that film.
Okay.
She's like not a cop, maybe a cop. I know
the movie you're talking about. Yeah.
It was not a great film, so I didn't commit a lot of it to memory. But I think that Margaret Qualley was actually pretty good in that film. I think that she could play the Janet character without too much of an issue.
Okay.
But if we're looking to go around that age, the vampire character technically didn't look that much older than the main female characters.
Yeah.
So we'd have to find somebody else.
I always have a hard time with actors from literally any decade before now trying to gauge anybody's ages. Like I feel like you look at someone and go, oh, they look like decrepit, and then they'll go, I am 35, and then I have to go vomit in the corner because it's too upsetting. So I feel like with this, I have no idea. They could have been 40 and they could have been 28. Like I got nothing.
Here's an out of left field casting for the Countess. Bring Fairuza Balk back into the limelight.
Is she the one from
the Craft? She was the one from
yes.
Well, The Water Boy.
Okay, you know what? I can see it. I would give her I would bring her to the audition and go like, wow me, give me something.
She just grows the hair out a little bit. They could even put a wig on her really if they needed to. But I think that she would play just slightly older than the other characters, but I think she would play it out pretty well. I've always liked her as an actress, and I think that she could do something if you give her something dark to play with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've only seen her in The Craft, but I've definitely seen The Water Boy. But I think I can see her doing, I mean, well, obviously she does well with spooky roles. So I think if you could just get her to have the diction that you want and to be able to pose dramatically, I think those are really the only things that I need from a future Countess Maria Zaleska.
Christina Ricci actually might do well.
Oh, okay. I'm on board with that.
The former Wednesday, the original Wednesday Addams.
Yeah. I think she's had kind of a cool career resurgence lately. So I could see her, and I could see her doing great at this.
Okay.
Any of our goth actresses, I support all of my goth ladies.
Okay, outside of Josh Gad, do you think anybody else would work for Sandor?
I don't know who I hate enough, because I just
I have one.
Okay, do it.
I think you could even make him up to almost look like this Sandor.
Oh,
Will Ferrell.
Okay.
You get him to dye his hair black, give him the big puffy eyebrows.
Yeah. I mean, he's like...
And he's the perfect
body
kind of just
shape-wise.
ass. He could be a real ass.
Yes. Or I don't know why that just like that sent my mind to what was the guy from Mad TV who always used to play the like weird little baby?
Oh, Michael.
Yes.
Is it Michael McDonald?
Yes.
Look what I can do.
Yes, him.
Yes, Michael McDonald. Yes.
Right?
He could definitely do that just based off of the look for that character too, if you think about it.
Yeah, because I feel like I've seen him in like a lot of bit parts recently where he's in a comedy, but he's playing sort of a colder, prick-ish kind of character, but in a comedy, in a comedic environment. And I feel like that could work well for a Sandor because he's either like lovelorn and miserable, or he's just a miserable prick anyway, like just depending on how you want to play it. And I feel like cold, miserable prick who's really mad to have to wear that stupid fucking hat all day long. I feel like Michael McDonald could do that.
Nick Cage.
Well, Nick Cage can do anything. I don't always love what he does, but like, if the question is, can he? Yes.
No, that was more of a joke answer because I'm just picturing him in this role. Well, look into my eyes. What do you see?
But it would be kind of funny, though. Do you know what I mean? Because he's played Dracula.
You look like death. That's what I see. You know.
I feel like he could, though. I feel like it would be like kind of funny stunt casting because he was in Kiss of the Vampire, and
Renfield.
then now he's and Renfield as Dracula. Even though it wasn't my favorite version of Dracula, like he does a good Dracula. So I feel like
he was a sassy bitch in that movie. He really was. I remember sitting down and watching that with my son. He's seen a couple of Nick Cage movies with me because we did a full-on Nick Cage episode, which everybody hated. Because everybody that was involved in the Nick Cage episode was like, really don't like Nick Cage movies all that much. I go, good. Watch as many of them as possible. What we're going to do, just watch as many as you can over the next 2 weeks. We're going to get together and we're just going to talk. And I think I actually ended up watching 30 Nick Cage movies in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
I was Nick Caged out. And I still didn't get to some of the better ones, like the Wicker Man remake, which would have been absolutely terrible.
I have seen so few of his movies, but I think somehow only his worst performances. Like I've seen, I mean, Renfield was like fine. I don't have a lot of good feelings towards it, but I don't have a lot of bad feelings towards it. I'm like neutral. But Rachel and Matt actually on, I don't remember which podcast it ended up coming out on. Maybe Strange and Beautiful Book Club. But they had me watch two separate Nick Cage movies back to back. One was Mandy, and one was something Wonderland. Woody's Wonderland.
Yes.
And I fucking hated both those movies so much that I don't know how the podcast was usable. It was just me like making the Tina Belcher groan for like an hour and 15 minutes because I hated both of those so much. So I don't have really positive. I have like some stress reactions to Nick Cage now after having gone through that. But that being said, I think it would be really, really funny to start off a Dracula's Daughter remake with Nick Cage playing the body of Dracula. Like he's only in it for like just like a reflection. You know what I mean? I think that would just be chef's kiss. Or you do have him as the Sandor character, just because I feel like I want to see what he brings to it. He's just such a wild card that like I don't think you could give him any direction. I think you hand him the stupid hat and you hand him the keys to the car and you go, show me what you got.
And you tell him you're not the main guy in this movie, which would definitely piss him off. Because he likes to be the lead. Let's be honest. Yes. To the other point, I was going to say that I have two things. First of all, Willy's Wonderland was a great movie. It was a fantastic movie. Hey, look, that's just my counter opinion. We had a whole episode about it too.
That's fair.
Because I had to watch Willy's Wonderland and the original Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and I'll be honest with you, I liked Willy's Wonderland far more than that.
I have still not seen. I kind of want to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movies, if only because Matthew Lillard seems like I kind of want to see.
He plays basically Snaptrap in those.
Yeah, and like I know just enough about the games from watching YouTube videos about the games because I'm old and I can't play. I'm not good at playing video games, so I just watch people tell me about the video games and then I learn and then I'm like done with it.
Okay.
So I'm like I kind of want to give it a shot just for you and like to see if there is a version of a robots filled with children's spirits go wild movie that doesn't piss me off. It's like, I will give it a shot.
I don't think either of those are going to be it. But I'm that's what I'm saying is I like the Willy's Wonderland movie more than I like those other two. For a reason. Number one, it was the only Nick Cage movie where he didn't have a single speaking line the entire film.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Not a single speaking line.
That I will give it points for that. I think anything like interesting and different and stylistic that you want to do, like I support. Which is why I think he'd be kind of interesting to see as Sandor, because like I don't know what weird thing you're going to pull out of your butt and decide to do for that.
But with Willy's Wonderland, you also have to look at it from the perspective that the kids in the movie and he were in two completely different movies.
Yes, they 100% were, which made me so angry. It made me so stressed out.
He was basically the main character in a video game, whereas the kids were in a horror movie.
Yes.
So, that being said, better movie, if you ever get a chance to watch it, Pig.
I've heard about Pig. I have not seen Pig, but Pig, okay, so I'll give Pig a shot.
Pig is definitely a good movie for him. It's one of those movies where he's not overly flamboyant, Nick Cage, like very understated, and I was expecting a very different movie when I watched it. All the way through to the end, I expected a different movie, and I was just like, that was a lot more powerful than I expected it to be. And they didn't pull the obvious punches in the film, which made me very confused and made me like the film more. So give it a shot, because if you look at what they tell you it's supposed to be about and then actually watch the movie, it's almost two completely different things.
Okay.
And back to this movie. Yes, I personally would like to see Nick Cage as Sandor. If you're not going to get Nick Cage, the only other... I'm trying to remember the only other guy that I think that you could really play this if you're going to have just some miserable sad sack the entire film, maybe Zach Galifianakis.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes, because this movie, like, as we mentioned before, it has aspects of comedy to it and then aspects of pathos. And I feel like Zach Galifianakis could ride that line really, really hard, where his character is both really funny and also really, like, viscerally pathetic and hurts your heart. I think there is a way to make the Sandor character not so completely 100% hateable.
Right.
And I think if you got the right actor, I think a Zach Galifianakis could make you care for him. Like, he's sort of like with Renfield, right? Like, we have this character that has indentured themselves to a vampire, and maybe we get to see, like, how terrible that is. I don't know. She seems like a pretty great boss, but maybe she's not. I don't know. And I don't know how long he's been doing this and how miserable his life is and, like, how much hope he's built. You know, sort of like a Guillermo, even from What We Do in the Shadows. Like, he's built up and built up and built up this hope that, like, this thing I wanted, I'm going to serve well enough and I'm going to get this thing, and then it doesn't come. And then him being a spiteful jackass the whole movie would make sense. You would feel for him. You'd be like, okay, I get it.
I'm missing the obvious guy. I'm sitting here going, I'm beating around the bush. I'm missing the obvious guy that could play this role. Adam Driver.
Oh, yeah, physically. Yeah, and he's someone who's good at doing comedy and drama, so he could ride that line too.
But he also has the look.
Yeah, he's long and lean, and yeah. But I could see him in a little pillbox hat, being a dick.
Sorry. I was looking up a different name. I looked up Adam Devine before I did this, which is a very different kind of comedy.
Yeah, I would have a harder time believing Adam Devine. Yeah. Although I kind of would like Adam Devine playing Janet. Not like with no acknowledgement that he is a man. Like, I just want him in furs and, like, a little bobbed 1930s wig just going at it. I feel like he could bring the level of comedy that I want from Janet.
Have we tried to cast Dr. Garth at this point? Not even basically the male lead in the film.
Yeah, the one we don't care about. I mean, I still think that Tom Hiddleston, if you wanted to have this character who's kind of an ass, but you like him and you're willing to ride the ride with him, you're willing to accept him as your main character who you're supposed to care about, I think Tom Hiddleston or Benedict Cumberbatch, I think one of those, where they're classically handsome adjacent, and you can buy them as being sort of a prick, but you're more forgiving with them. I feel like they have a lot of roles like that.
Hear me out. I'm thinking
Okay.
of somebody a little bit more forgettable. Jude Law.
Well, he hasn't done a whole lot lately, so I bet he would be in.
He has done some things.
Okay.
That's the problem, is that he's kind of blend into the woodwork forgettable. Even the films that he has out there, how many films can you remember that have Jude Law in it that you watched?
Only Alfie. Isn't that awful? Oh, I know he's in the movie with the little boy robot, but I still have not actually seen AI.
AI, that's exactly. Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
He
I
has
still haven't
done some
seen
things,
it, but I know he's in that.
So, I mean, he's been in a few things, if I'm not mistaken, lately. But if
Yeah,
you want
but
to
I
talk
feel
about
like-
somebody forgettable that'll just bleed into the woodworks, Jude Law he's conventionally, I mean, I want to say conventionally handsome, or not conventionally handsome. What's the word that I'm looking for? He's handsome, but he's not like standout handsome.
Yeah, well, now I feel like, and the older he gets, the less, he's not ugly, but like the less like movie star handsome he's gotten in the last couple of years. But I'm going to push back on Jude Law only because I feel like Jude Law is good at playing the handsome cad dick character who you don't come around on. Even if the movie wants me to come around on, like I still go, you're kind of a dick.
I didn't come
like,
around
dick
on this
vibes.
guy the entire film. Dr. Garth, I didn't like.
I know, but like I feel like in the remake, I want to come around on him only because I feel like the movie wants us to come around on him. Like I feel like in the 30s, you would have gone, he's the male character, and I root for him, and he's cool, and he's smart, and he's got this cool, fun relationship with his hot secretary, and like I feel like you're supposed to like him. I agree. I don't like him.
Okay.
I don't find him likable, but I think that's just because of the culture this movie is steeped in, the sort of 1930s. I'm smart and women are dumb and I'm not going to believe them, and you know it's got that whole vibe to it. So I feel like I really need someone who can be that dickhead, but make me like them, even if it's not because of the words coming out of their mouth, even if they don't have like a personality change by the end of the movie. I feel like there are some actors who you like, even when their characters are really shitty. You go, well, it's Cumberbatch. I still like him. Like I'm still on board with him. But with Jude Law, I feel like his characters always show up with a weird little smirk, and they don't lose that by the end of the movie. They're just like a fuck boy.
Okay, then can I throw up two people as a counterpoint to your Tom Hiddleston?
Yes. Okay, do it.
Johnny Lee Miller, the guy that he played in the modern Sherlock remake.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm on board for that.
The original Hackers movie. He played alongside of Angelina Jolie in Hackers with Matthew Lillard. This is like early Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
So I like him because he has that kind of snarky, I'm an ass, but also there's sort of an attraction to him. So like him being an ass is also for some reason an attraction to a lot of these people. Or Ewan McGregor.
I don't know that I've ever seen Ewan McGregor in anything where he's an ass, but now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't seen him in like all that much, but I would give him a shot. I would give both of them a shot. And you mentioning Angelina Jolie now has me thinking about her playing the Countess. And I don't know why I think that would be.
Because she's done a few things. Beowulf, that character that she did for Beowulf.
Yes, Grendel's mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
she could do that kind of witchy vibe. I feel like she's got the kind of physicality that you want in this, where she's like a little bit larger than life and very statuesque and dramatic.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking now?
Hmm.
Oh, what is it now? Now my brain went off into left field. This is what happens with me and ADHD. Hold on, I'm gonna give you a thought in a minute. This guy, the director, that's Wes Anderson should direct this. If you're gonna do it, Wes Anderson should direct this.
Yes. No notes. Yeah, yes, correct. I really just want to see this movie re-edited, but with the Wes Anderson music behind it. Like the exact same movie, but just with the kind of cutesy, like TikTok-y kind of music behind it. But yeah. And I feel like I don't know that I've actually seen a Wes Anderson movie all the way through, but I feel like the vibes that I get from the clips that I've seen, because I also have ADHD and can only handle like 30 seconds of a thing at a time. I feel like he does a good mix of like cutesy things and also like dramatic scenes. So I think that would be kind of interesting.
He has a style now. So if you watch early Wes Anderson back when he did like Rushmore and stuff like that, there was a little bit more, I want to say, lenience on this deadpan delivery thing that he likes. But now when you watch it, almost everybody deadpan delivers their lines.
Yes. Yeah.
And I love that. And I think that would work well for this kind of remake. Just everybody deadpan delivering their lines even when they're trying to be comedic.
Yes. Well, and to be fair, like, it's not too far off from how some of the actors in this actually do to deliver their lines. Like, there's some extras where I couldn't tell if they were trying too hard or not hard enough. They were in this weird gray zone where nothing they were doing was working. Like some of the Transylvanian extras, all they have to do was go, "That's Dracula's castle. It's over there. It's spooky. We don't want to go." And I was like, why do I not believe you? Like, all you have to do is point to the castle and tell me that's where it is. And somehow I'm suspicious of you because your delivery is so freaking weird.
But if we do that, then I want Bill Murray as Basil.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. We haven't even talked about him at all. So he's the head of Scotland Yard. He starts off the movie with, I'm going to arrest you, Dr. Van Helsing, because I think you murdered a guy who might be a foreign dignitary, and that's bad. Like, we got to figure this out. And then he immediately turns into just, like, I'm real lazy and I want to look at my stamps instead of, like, solving murders and shit. Like, and he's got a sassy butler. This movie has so many unexpected twists and turns that I feel like it didn't think were unexpected twists and turns. It's just like, no, here's the guy who's the head of Scotland Yard. And we're gonna make him weird as fuck. We're just gonna give him
like you were
the most bizarre,
the worst at your job. Too, he was not good at his job.
He was not
just
good.
Not.
No. My favorite part, and I don't remember if it was him that says this, but I think it was him. Okay, so we have a scene where Van Helsing and our Dr. Garth are trying to kind of convince Sir Basil that there's a vampire around, and he's like, well, I mean, in the London fog, like, lots of crimes happen. Like, I could totally explain away people dying with all their blood sucked out of their body through 2 holes on their neck. Like, that's just London, baby. Like, what do you want from me? It's like, aren't you the police? I don't want you to be, take away vampires. I don't want you to be blasé about fog murders. You seem very cool with, like, losing 2 guys a night in the London fog. Like, that's just the number of guys you're willing to lose.
It's like, people just die. And sometimes it's mysterious. This is a lot of paperwork. Can we just let this go?
Yes. That is his whole vibe in this. Like, I really would rather be doing anything other than my job. And then at one point, there's a phone call to him, and he's in his bed, in his gym jams, waiting for his, like, an evening cup of whatever the butler is going to be bringing to him. It's like tonic water or something. And he's doing his little philately book, his little stamp collecting book. And he is so arsed. He is so and it's like, you know that there's like a woman missing. You know that this countess might be murdering people. Like, even if you don't believe she's a vampire, like, you have to believe that, like, something bad is going on. And so the psychiatrist calls him and is like, hey, I'm at the countess's apartment and I need you to come and I need you to bring the cops with you. Like, shit's gonna go down. And the guy's like, but I'm in my gym jams. I'm snuggled up under my sheets. Do I really have to? And, like, I guess he could have sent somebody else, but he doesn't even send any police officers, right? Isn't it just, like, him and Dr. Van Helsing that, like, wander up to this apartment?
It's like, by the way, not only am I going to bring myself, but let's bring the guy that's been accused of murder as well. Mm-hmm. The one who we think drove a stake through the heart of a foreign dignitary.
Correct.
Let him come along.
Yeah, I want to know his opinion. I don't trust anybody else's opinion, but give me the murder suspect if I have to put on pants, if I have to go through the indignity of getting dressed after 7 o'clock at night. It is, yeah, he is so remarkably bad at his job that I think you're right. If you do it like as a Wes Anderson style thing, it would feel less incongruous. Because he's like, it's not like he's the skeptic who doesn't believe in vampires and he's like all business and science. Or that he's the other way and he's like all believing in, like, I don't have powers over this. I'm only a police officer and she's a vampire with powers beyond time and space. he doesn't give a shit whether either version is happening, whether she's a lady serial killer or a vampire hungering for blood. He's like, I don't care. My job is not to care. Sorry, you guys.
Can I just put handcuffs on this and be done? I mean, you're a murderer. Doesn't matter how you murdered. Doesn't matter that you've been alive for 100 years. Is that what this is, right? Okay. Handcuffs work, right? Can we just put those on you? Can come with us?
Please fill in your own arrest form, because I don't have time for that.
It's like, I'm going to fill. Maybe I won't give you the handcuffs. I'll just let you do your own paperwork.
Promise not to kill anyone ever again. Cool? All right, I'm peacing out. He's so fucking useless. And I love that he shows up in Transylvania. Like, I couldn't get him to get out of his own fucking bed. He went to Transylvania at the end of this movie. And also does not. Well, I guess, does he shoot Sandor, or does he have like one of the local cops shoot Sandor?
I think one of the local cops shoot him.
Okay, mistaken. So continues uselessness until the very end of the movie.
I think he was just useless all the way through. He was just kind of there.
Yeah. When I like that they end it with, okay, she has now been shot. She's on her little balcony. She's dying. Janet's eyes open, so like we know she's cool. She's alive. And the cop, Sir Basil, goes out to the balcony. And
Thought she got shot with an arrow.
Yeah. Oh no, she gets shot by Sandor, and the cop shoots Sandor.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. So he basically goes around, and he's like this close to kicking the bodies, like the way you'd kick the tire on a car to see if it's like okay. He's like kicking two bodies. He's like, all right.
She seems to be dead. Well, yes, arrow through the heart. That's how you do that.
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
As if this explains another woman with another person with a, arrow or stake through their heart. And this obviously explains everything. You must have been right. They've been alive for hundreds of years. Those are definitely vampires. Yeah. Because, by saying that, then I don't have to do the paperwork because there's no vampire paperwork in Scotland Yard. I'm sorry.
I don't have a box in my form for this. Yeah, I kind of wish, like, this movie has a lot of, like, little nubs of interesting pathways and interesting ideas, and I'm glad for it. Like, I think it's really cool to see these kind of nubs so early. I wish, like, in the modern remake, I want more. Like, I want more of her not wanting to be a vampire. I want more of Sandor's little backstory. I want more of the whole police going after Van Helsing thing, because they dropped that so fast. Like, as you said, he is a murder suspect. We think he killed a guy. And the whole rest of the movie, they're like, vampires, I guess.
I want the Countess to hold on to her hope of not being a vampire a little bit longer than that initial scene.
For more than 20 seconds? Yeah, that would be really fantastic if her whole hope and joy and, like, reason for even dealing with the psychiatrist in the first place. Like, if all that had stayed with her for longer, yeah.
I can understand if maybe, like, throughout the film there was a systematic breakdown of her self-esteem, but, like, it was so immediate that it bothered me.
Yeah. Well, it's like I set Dracula's body on fire and I did a fun little dance, and so now I feel hope, and I'm going to be out in the sun and have birds singing around me, and I'm going to be Snow White. My life is going to be great. And then she has one piano performance that Sandor absolutely craps on. He looks in her eyes and goes, yep, they're still vampire eyes. And then she tries real hard to not bite the model lady. And then she's like, well, 3 strikes. 3 strikes, I'm out, I guess. I guess I'll just continue my life of darkness and evil. Nothing to be done about it. Yeah, it does feel like it's such a rush into it. It's like a slow movie, but her whole hope and joy, like, is crapped out immediately. And I still don't really understand why she wants the psychiatrist with her as a vampire. Because, like, what's he going to do? He's also going to hunger for blood? He's going to tell you not to? Like, what? Like,
there was a scene near the beginning where she was talking about him using her to study her or something to that nature. Mm-hmm. There was a dialogue that happened between them, and it kind of semi-explains why she wants them together. And I can't remember the dialogue right now because, like I said, my ADHD brain... You got to catch my attention a little bit. So
yeah, I was thinking that she wanted him while he was human, to help her, like, to do whatever, psychiatric mental health tricks will help you stop being a vampire. And then, but, like, when she's like, well, I guess I'll be a vampire forever. I was like, well, why do you want him around? He's not going to be any more supportive than Sandor was. I mean, because you're dragging him into this first off, but also, like, what part of this guy who helps people with their addictions do you want to be addicted to blood next to you? Like, how is that gonna? You're gonna be self-hating together for the rest of time? Like what? Like he's not really a friend to women. So like having that next to you until the sun burns out, I don't see how that's gonna go. Like he's not gonna be any nicer to you than Sandor was. Like Sandor was an under the breath bitch. I feel like Dr. Garth is like a to your face bitch. You know?
He definitely is. I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. I just don't understand, like, they're both downers in a sense. Like,
yes.
Sandor is the kind of guy that'll just kind of break down your self-esteem, whereas Dr. Garth will just treat you like you don't really exist outside of just the natural need to have you there for certain things.
Yes. Yeah, I can't answer the phone myself. I'm a man, so...
Yeah. I couldn't possibly cook my own meals or do anything to that nature. You're going to need to do that for me. Thank you for folding my clothes and pressing my slacks, you know.
Yeah.
Outside of that, they go, oh, I see that adoring look in your eyes. What is that? Do you have something in your eye? What is that? Is that an eyelash? Yeah, okay, take care of that.
What's wrong with your face?
What do you look like? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't you see that I love you? What? No, never mind.
The words coming out of this woman's mouth are totally unimportant to me. So I hear them as ocean noises. I feel like he wouldn't even register. I feel like you could get him like a really well-trained spaniel and he would have the exact same feeling. He would have stronger feelings for it than he has for Janet.
You just get him a capuchin that takes Sandor's hat and we'll be done. That's all you need. Just a trained capuchin.
Okay, now that you're saying that, I would also like a remake where Sandor is played by a tiny monkey and Janet is played by a dog. And we keep the dialogue the same. We just have it like a voiceover when it's the monkey and the dog. And otherwise, the exact same fucking movie.
Okay, now I'm picturing it as that really terrible Look Who's Talking 3 where the dogs were the ones talking throughout the entire film.
Yes,
it was like,
I want that level of quality.
Wasn't it like Danny DeVito and Roseanne Barr or something? Or I can't remember.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
It's just terrible and annoying.
Look Who's Talking 4, vampires. That's what I want.
Oh, no.
It's sort of like when you have one of those movies where like do you remember the Muppet Treasure Island and the other sort of Muppet movies that we had in like the 90s where there's like some human actors and some Muppet characters, but you just have to, they're all treating it with the utmost level of seriousness. So but dogs. Like that's my...
Okay, you now have me picturing Janet as Rolf in a dress.
I would support that too. I would support the Muppet remake of this movie, the dog and monkey remake of this movie, the Nicolas Cage, Angelica Houston version of this movie. Like really, there's no way to go wrong.
I want the Roger Rabbit half live action, half animation version of this.
I would support that too.
You know,
can you imagine?
But do it with the sensibilities of that movie Monkey Bone. Please tell me you've seen Monkey Bone.
Well, okay, so I think I saw if not the whole movie, then like 80% of it when I was like really too young, and now it lives in a weird like horror part of my brain that
it was a weird. I would consider it almost a horror movie for children. It was especially Rose McGowan's character in that, who like I think eats somebody halfway through the movie.
Oh my god,
she's like a cat lady. And she saves Brendan Fraser in this jail area of hell by eating eating the guard or something to save him. Like she was kind of half enamored with him. It was so weird. She had like blood on her mouth. It was a good cat.
Oh my god.
So yeah, and of course it had Whoopi Goldberg in it, so that was a horror.
Okay, I need to maybe give this another. I feel like there's a lot of those semi-adult properties that were like kid colored or kid coded, like enough that like parents in the 90s were like, just watch this. I don't care.
Definitely not a kid movie.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But like, if there's animation, I feel like in the 90s parents were just like, whatever, watch it. And now as an adult, I'm like, what did I watch? What did you let me watch? Like, I watched a lot of Duckman. Did you know?
Oh my god, Duckman. Yeah.
When I was like 8. And I think I'm still broken from that. I don't think you're supposed to watch that when
Ren
you're
and
8.
Stimpy.
Yeah.
Some of the subject matter for just Ren and Stimpy. If you go back
Ren and
and
Stimpy
watch it
always
now, they're
scared
like,
me.
how did we let the kids watch this when
Yeah.
they were younger?
I saw clips of Ren and Stimpy and it scared me too much to watch, but I was watching like Duckman slapping women on the face and like having graphic sex. Like and now I'm like, oh, okay.
Do you know where my adult animation, the roadblock was for me, where we stopped letting the kids watch a lot of stuff on like, it was the Cartoon Network, had Adult Swim for a while.
Oh yeah,
And
I remember Adult Swim.
well, there was one particular cartoon that we were like, oh yeah, this looks kind of funny. It's got like parodies of all these other characters. You know, there's a parody of Superman. There's a parody of Link from Legend of Zelda, and parody of Betty Boop.
Oh, you're
yes.
talking about the show on Comedy
Together.
Central.
Drawn Together.
Drawn Together was messed up.
Oh yeah, it was. I remember sitting down and I put it on. And I was like, okay, watch this, kids. And I was just doing some stuff, and I come back, and I'm like, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off.
Yep.
What the hell did I just put on? Because it was the cover artwork made it innocuous enough that it didn't look. It kind of looked like it could be a little on the racy side, but you didn't really.
Yeah, I think it definitely went a lot darker than you would have than I anticipated.
Oh yeah.
In watching it, and there's funny dark, and then there's like, I feel a kind of uncomfortable dark. And I feel like they would just dive right into the I feel uncomfortable dark right away.
Yes.
So that even the kind of like fun parts of it did not outweigh the parts of it that were just unseemly.
Like, well, that
just
was
like,
fucked up.
Yes.
Like truly fucked up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Although now that we're talking about fucked up things and we've talked about different remakes, there was this show that that Rachel and I watched for Garrett Can Get It called Puppets Who Kill, which is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life, bar none. Like the absolute bottom barrel garbage. But it was essentially puppets that had committed crimes who were now released to a halfway house with this poor human man that had to like try to rein them in. And now I'm imagining a remake of Dracula's Daughter with those puppets in it. And I think I would give it a shot. I think it would be worth it to watch fucked up little hand puppets try to reenact Dracula's Daughter with the same level of pathos.
When did that happen? When did
Puppets that kill?
No, not puppets that kill in general, because there's a lot of movies like that now, though. Like the Happy Time Murders, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I
had such high hopes for that movie. I saw it in the theaters. I was like, this is going to be good. And at the end of it, I was like, I'm 2 hours closer to death than I was before I started this. And it was not worth it. It was not worth it for me.
This is something. But
I had hope. I had I think because the Muppets were kind of in one of their periods of resurgence when I was a kid,
right.
that like now I have like a get out of jail free pass for the Muppets. If you bring something new with Muppets, I'm going to give it a shot. And I don't like it like 80% of the time, but you bring me a new Muppet thing and I'm here, I will give it another shot. I will just, they can do no wrong. They are like my negging boyfriend, and I will give them another shot no matter.
Up until the Happy Time Murders.
Yeah. Well, that was such a schlock. It wasn't bad good. Even it was just bad. It was just, when you're sitting there in the movie and you're like.
That was from the Henson family, basically.
Yeah.
So was it the son that made that?
That sounds right.
They were trying to veer into more adult entertainment involving Muppets.
Yeah. And like, I feel like the Muppets are open to that. You know what I mean? Like the characters felt like grown-ups, and then sometimes they make like not off-color jokes, but like more grown-up-y type jokes. So I feel like if you want to take that one step further and go like, you know, they swear and they have sex and they drink, like, okay, all right, like, sure. Like Avenue Q was a musical that lasted on Broadway, and they had sex and drank and lived lives and were people, like, sure. Okay. And just somehow this movie just didn't have it. But like, I'm open to giving it another shot. If they want to bring back their adult Muppets for Dracula's Daughter, I'll give you my money. I'll watch it.
And I'm sending this to you right now. Hopefully it'll come through. But if you really want to see something that looks like Twisted Muppets, just something absolutely batshit crazy, Peter Jackson, Meet the Feebles.
Oh my God. Wait, where did you send it to?
I just sent it to the Instagram there.
Oh.
We originally linked up. But if you want to see something truly screwed up, Peter Jackson of Lord of the Rings fame, one of his early films called Meet the Feebles.
Oh wow, they're
Twisted
all so
puppet
ugly.
characters. They're all ugly as hell.
Oh, there's a sexy one too. I don't.
Yep.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
I will say that is the one thing that I'm glad that we don't do as much anymore. Is I feel like when I was a kid in cartoons and with puppets and things, there's always like the one single female one, and they're always weirdly sexed up, even when there's no reason for them to be sexed up. Like the one that you just sent me, she's got like a tiara and what would you call, like Las Vegas showgirl eyelashes?
Yep.
Like
The dog, the kind of
that's a
poodle looking
dog?
dog. Yeah.
I hate that shit. Or like Lola Bunny.
There's right next to her. If you look, there's also a heavily made up hippopotamus.
Oh,
with the makeup and the bust and everything.
See, I feel like you can make puppets that are female coded and it's like in an adult thing, and you can even make them like sexy characters, but not like sexy where I think that the guy making the puppet actually wants to fuck the puppet. Like that's the line that I would like you to ride. Like make it so that this is a sex character, a sexy, qualified character, where I don't think that you've actually done something to that hunk of felt.
Problem is that we've crossed over into the territory where furries are a thing. So unfortunately, there is a market for that now. It wasn't so much back then, so it was a little weirder to see these kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like, why does that look like a sexy dog puppet? I don't understand.
But even in cartoons, like I feel like a lot of times, if there was one female character, like it's always like weirdly sexed up, like the Lola Bunny kind of phenomenon.
Lola Bunny was born out of the cross-dressing Bugs Bunny, basically.
Yeah. But like I'm fine with the cross-dressing Bugs Bunny. I don't like, hey, I'm here to play basketball in my little crop top. Yeah, I'm just like it, because like as a kid you're just like, okay, that's the girl one, and you don't care. But then as an adult, I'm like, why did you draw it that way? Why?
Right. I don't understand why Warner Brothers went that way, because we had like Minnie Mouse, which was just a female version of Mickey.
Yeah, it's possible.
You had Daisy Duck, which was the female version of Donald. And then all of a sudden Lola Bunny comes onto the scene and you're like, why did we have to go this way?
Yeah.
I don't, and I get that you kind of want to turn Bugs Bunny into the wolf in every cartoon. Way back in the 80s and 90s, that the eyes pop out of their head, the tongue comes rolling out. Woohoo, that thing that they did in all the cartoons whenever a beautiful or sexy character happened to walk into the screen. Even I think Roger Rabbit did it when he saw Jessica.
Yeah, but like Jessica is on purpose. Yeah, like she knows what she is, and we know what she is, and like that's why Roger Rabbit is such a great movie. Although again, a childhood scarring movie. Thanks, Christopher Lloyd. Right. But otherwise, like you don't. I'm not mad at her being drawn the way she's drawn, because like that's the whole point.
I think she even says that.
Yeah,
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn
that way. Yeah, yeah. But it's like in these other situations where you've got the weirdly sexed up thing that is, on the surface aimed at children. That's what kind of creeps me out a little bit. Like, don't let the girl character be a character where it's not just that her character she's the girl. Like, I feel like that's not a hard concept to get your head around. And yet sometimes in these cartoons or in these puppet things, it's the character that is a girl, like that's her whole character. And it's just like, ugh.
Well, I think the kind of point you're actually making is that the problem is that a lot of the times when they make a girl counterpart to an already popular character, they don't do much more than make it, oh, this is the girl character.
Yeah.
That it's just as one note as that.
Yeah.
Which is terrible. And then they end up making an overly sexualized character. And then Timmy's going, why is this going on, Mom? I think we have to have a conversation. I don't understand what's going on now.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to have the birds and the bees talk with their kid because they saw Lola Bunny. Mom, I'm feeling a certain way. Let's talk about the bunnies and the ducks.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Dracula's daughter,
yeah.
and I think what got us off on the tangent? Was it Nick Cage? Nick Cage kind of got us off on the tangent.
Well, we were talking about like possible remakes. And that got me into thinking about like doing like a puppets that kill kind of version of this.
I could get into that.
Yeah.
I'm still leaning on Wes Anderson. Well,
I think he's a good director. I just think any version of this it can't be a horror movie that thinks it's a horror movie. Because even in this, there's moments of comedy.
I don't even think you can treat this as a horror movie. I think any remake of this, it can't be a horror movie.
Right.
I think it has to be a drama with a little bit of comedy attached to it, where you're not really seeing a lot of blood. It's almost all psychological.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I 100% agree. Because I think if you just treat it like a flat horror movie, you're going to ruin it. You're going to just steamroll it to nothing. So I think there has to be comedy, there has to be psychological development, and there has to be something weird. And it's either like the Wes Anderson weird, or it's the Nick Cage weird, or it's the puppets and dogs and monkeys weird.
Tim Burton weird.
See, okay, you're going to get me in a hole. This podcast will never end. Tim Burton, my experience with Tim Burton is this. If you describe to me the like gist of a Tim Burton movie that is about to come out that nobody has seen yet, every single time I'm like, wow, that sounds great. That sounds like a thing that I would love. I love goth things and spooky things and weirdo things, and that sounds great. I'm so excited for this Tim Burton thing. And then every time I've sat my ass down and watched a Tim Burton thing, I go, I fucking hate this. This is miserable. It sucks, and I'm mad to be here. And I'm angry at not just this movie. I'm now angry all around my whole body for having to watch this, and I hate it.
Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Only Tim Burton, if he's on whatever crack he was smoking when he made Batman and Robin.
Okay. Yes. Okay. You have brought me back. Okay. I forgot that he did that movie because it's not in my head. It's not a Tim Burton movie. I did watch that when I was a kid, and I did enjoy that movie. So if he gives me that treatment of this, where it's like a little bit heightened and a little bit campy, it will not be my favorite version, but I will pay the money and I will watch that version, and I'm sure I would enjoy it.
I think and this is a lot of people don't have this opinion about that particular film series, but of those films, outside of the original Michael Keaton, the first one,
mm-hmm.
that movie was probably one of my favorites, only because Tim Burton took it to an area where it was almost like the 60s style, the old Batman television show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very heightened and very campy.
It was very theatrical too. Like Uma Thurman in that actually could probably do.
She would do a fantastic Dracula's daughter.
Right. She could play the Countess.
And maybe even the same outfit. I would be okay with her just like bringing that same outfit, but now the film's in black and white. Like the weird eyebrows. I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it.
Spray painted, give her a burlap sack, tell her to make it look beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm torn because, like, on the one hand, I think that sounds like a really fun version of this movie, but on the other hand, I don't want to make it totally camp because I like that you sort of feel for the Countess. I mean, I know it's like a really brief chunk where the movie cares about her, and then it goes back to like, oh, we're a horror movie, aren't we? And then, she takes the woman hostage and brings her to Transylvania. But I feel like for those brief moments, there's some kind of a magic there. I don't know, where you care about this character and you feel for her, and she's not just the other and the monster and the bad thing. You're like, oh, you're a person with a psychological dependency and addiction that you can't control, and you're trying, and you're going to this really terrible dinner party or this like lounge party with a bunch of idiots that you don't want to talk to because there's a psychiatrist there who might be able to help you control this uncontrollable urge that you have been racked with for however, 100 years or however long.
Right.
Like you just you get inside her in her chest a little bit and you feel for her. And even though she immediately tries one thing and it fails and she goes, well, I tried, I guess I'll never do that again. Like even though it immediately craps out for those couple of minutes, there's something honest there. So I feel like I don't want to go full. I mean, if you're going to give me a full camp remake, I also want a remake that has like a little bit of the heart, a little bit of the emotion behind it.
Okay, I'm gonna throw one more thing out at you because my brain is still churning with remake versus remake. So you remember back when Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez got together to do the whole Grindhouse thing, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but I'm aware of. Yeah, I'm aware of them.
I'm talking back-to-back remakes. 2 Dracula's Daughters movies. One made by Wes Anderson yes. that is more dramatic than it is comedic, and the other one made by Diablo Cody that is more comedic than it is dramatic. I'm just going based off of when she did Lisa Frankenstein, could kind of lean into something like this.
Yes. And I'm glad you mentioned Lisa Frankenstein because I had the exact opposite of my Tim Burton experience with that because I was like, I'm not going to like this. This is stupid. And then Rachel was like, please watch it. Please give it a shot. And I was like, okay. Fine, begrudgingly, because of our friendship, I guess I will watch this. And I watched it and I was like, all right, you were right. You were right. Fine, I love this. Fine. Are you happy you touched my soul? Fine.
Diablo Cody is like, I don't know. It's so much better than she has any right to be. She's got a new movie coming out, I think the end of the year, called Forbidden Fruits, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I've seen some of the trailers for that. I want to see that. It looks good. I didn't know that was her.
So yeah, no, that it's let's see, was it her directing, if I'm not mistaken? No, the director is Meredith Hathaway. She's producing.
Oh, okay.
So she's one of the producers on the film.
But the same, I like your idea of doing like 100 different versions of this. Like I just feel like you could come at this movie from so many different angles and give me something new every time. I want the Dracula's Daughter Film Fest.
What if you did like an anthology film where everybody, like 4 different directors get a chance to make a half-hour version of this film?
I would be in the movie theater right now. I would be sitting there with my popcorn. Like, my body is ready.
You get a Diablo Cody version. You get the Wes Anderson version. You get the Tim Burton version if you really want to sit through it at the end, and then maybe throw in just some weird, maybe throw Quentin Tarantino in there, see what he would do with it.
Yeah, no, a couple of scenes where you're just looking at the Countess's feet for some reason.
It's just vulgarity from beginning to end. They make it.
Yes.
They lean heavily into the sapphic area of that because that's what he would do.
Yeah, I do like the idea that there's a version out there where Countess Maria Zaleska calls everyone a motherfucker just every couple of minutes.
All right, so I think we've talked about this film more than we possibly could.
We have gone through it pretty deeply. Oh, although I do want to make sure that if anyone out there decides that they want to watch this movie is Dracula's Daughter, not Daughter of Dracula, which is a Franco-Italian pornography film. So just, keep an eye out that you're watching the right movie.
I did manage to stumble across that, by the way. I was like, Daughter of Dracula. No.
No.
This is not
no.
I was looking for 1930s, and then I was like, no, that's definitely not what I'm looking for.
70s, I think, is the other one. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely cannot recommend that one at all in good conscience. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And I think, if I remember correctly, there is a scene where a camera goes inside a lady's vagina. So it is not... I got it at like a flea market, which should tell you everything you need to know about that movie. But this one... I think it's fantastic. I want more people to watch it. I want more people to know about it and to not just think about it as like a cheap sequel to Dracula, which I feel like is what the name makes you think it's going to be. Like son of Frankenstein, son of Dracula, Dracula's third cousin. Like who cares? But this I feel like really stands on its own, and it's so cool. It's like fun and dramatic and interesting and beautiful. And there's a guy named Sandor who everyone loves to hate because of his stupid hat. Like there's something for everyone in this movie. just, if you like close your eyes to the misogyny just a little tiny bit, you'll get through it. I don't know. I think it's worth recommending.
You have to look at a movie, any movie, really. You have to look at any movie that is outside of the current decade through the decade glasses. If you don't put those goggles on and think, okay, well, this is how shit was back in 1936, I think this was.
Yes, 36, yeah.
1936, yeah. If you don't look at it through those goggles, then you're obviously going to start picking it apart like, oh my God, this guy was an asshole. No, it's 1930s. I'm not saying what he's doing is great, but it was definitely much more acceptable back then.
Yeah, he's of the time. If you just kind of walk into this going, Dr. Garth is the main character and the movie thinks he's the main character and the movie is on his side, like if you just kind of have that in the back of your head, then it'll help you kind of float through everything else that happens. But if you, as you said, if you look at him from a modern point of view, you want to shoot every character in this movie.
Right, because the weak spine of some of the women in this movie just bothered me. Like, I don't understand why you feel you have to be... Like, just give up on your dreams real quick. Follow after a guy that pays no attention to you. Die because somebody put you through, well...
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a good point, because the Janet character, they make mention that she's independently wealthy. I mean, she doesn't need this job. She does not need the crap that this guy puts her through, and she's here just for funsies because she loves him, I guess. This is a vibe. This isn't a movie. This isn't a think about so much movie. It's just to let it happen to you. Let it wash your soul. Just let it be of you. I think that's the way to approach this movie. Just like let it happen, and do not watch the colorized version because you will go blind.
No, do go watch the colorized version of this. And like I said, that's the reason I like the colorized version of this better. And I'm not saying that it's a better movie. I'm just saying that after having watched this particular film the first time through and having a little bit of an ADHD problem watching it and realizing that it felt like a really off-kilter, like, kung fu film. Like, the audio track was out of sync, so everybody's lips were out of sync, so I thought I was watching, like, a really bad kung fu film that was just badly dubbed. So that was entertaining like the idea for me.
In the anthology that we have created in our heads, I like the idea that one of those would just have one set of actors doing the acting and then like a second set of actors doing a really poor dub on top of that is not synced up at all. I think that would give me a little bit of joy in my heart.
I think that's what brings me joy in this, is that it's I don't know why they thought to colorize this film. I don't think it was even remotely necessary. And I think that whoever did that needs to undo it real quick. But I think it's probably, 20, 30 years past from that actually having happened.
Yeah, I'm hoping that whoever colorized this is dead. that is my hope.
You're dead, right?
They got what they deserved.
Because whatever you did, that was just really shitty of you. All right, I can sit here and I can mumble about things at this point. I think I've run out of things to say about this film, if I'm entirely honest.
Okay.
I do not regret having watched this movie. On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate this?
Oh, well, this is one of my favorite movies. That's an unfair question. I would give this like a 9.5. Like because I don't know. It's just so unusual. Like, I feel like there's no part of this movie is something that I've seen anywhere else or that I've expected, Okay. Like, it just has so many fun, disparate parts, like, mashed onto each other. And when you're walking into it thinking it's going to be just a cheap sequel to a famous movie, it comes out of left field and it bops you in the head and it gives you something new. So I that's why, and every time I watch it, I see something a little bit different. So 9.5, one of my favorite movies, love it more than life.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've only watched this movie twice. You brought it to my attention. I've seen the cover to this hundreds of times because you've seen them on DVD, VHS. You've seen the artwork everywhere. That nobody can forget the eyes on the front of this, the green kind of goblin-esque eyes.
So spooky.
Which sort of made me feel like it says Daughters of Dracula, but it feels like Wicked Witch of the West. Just... I don't know why the green lighting was necessary because the whole film is in black and white. I think I would have enjoyed this a little more had the version that I had seen been the non-HD upscaled version of it.
Okay.
if I had seen it in sort of the original kind of almost grainy quality that the film had back then. Because it would have made it feel more real and of the time. So when you HD upscale it now, it just kind of, it feels like an unnatural upscaling, if it makes any sense. It doesn't have the same creepy vibe to it.
Yeah. Plus, I think if it's a little bit blurry, it would add to the kind of dreamlike nature of the movie.
That being said, I'm going to give it a little bit more than the average IMDb rating, which I believe rates at about 6.3 right now. I would give it probably like a 7.5.
What? Yes. Fan.
Yes. I like I said, I don't hate the film. I don't regret having watched it. I watched it twice, and I'm not sitting here going, I can't believe I watched that garbage twice. It's not a long movie. At best, it's like 71 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that, yeah.
An hour and 11 minutes. So it's not going to take your entire life away if you don't like the film, if you're not into black and white films. Honestly, this is still worth watching, especially if you like some of those old kind of horror movies, the origins of some of the stuff that we watch now.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it's so interesting, is like you see these little like seeds of tropes that we're going to see much, much later, just kind of budding in this.
And this is definitely a little bit of had a bit of a sapphic quality in it before it was actually popular to have that kind of quality in a movie.
Oh yeah. Wait, is this before the Hays Code? I always mean to look it up, and I never.
I believe it was pre-Hays Code, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, because she is. She attacks both men and women, but when she's attacking women, the longing in her eyes, it's something else. Because you never actually see her attack the one man that she attacks early in the movie. You just see her like going after him. But when she goes after Janet and Lily, there are some longing looks that I can really feel like. I feel like they are only partially explained by her desire to drink their blood. Like there's definitely something else on top of the blood drinking that's going on.
I'm like looking it up right now. Hays Code was, actually Hays Code started 1934. This was 2 years after the Hays Code was in place.
Okay. Well, they snuck some stuff in. I know on Wikipedia it says that they did tone down the Lily painting scene. I guess she was originally going to be just like full on nude. And there was going to be more of a sense of maybe like a sexual assault had happened on top of the blood drinking. And then someone at some point was like, let's just have her wear like a camisole and let's not include rape in this movie.
The strict set of moral guidelines that governed the Hollywood films from 1934 to 1968, which instituted to appease conservative critics and avoid government censorship. It banned profanity, interracial romance, homosexuality, and graphic violence, ensuring that all criminals were punished by the end of the film. This lasted from 1934 to 1968.
I guess if she's a criminal, she is punished. I mean, she gets a arrow through the heart.
She is technically accused of murdering Lily, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah.
So there were several people that were technically murders in the film, and they all got killed, and they all got killed in an area where you didn't really see a lot of graphic violence, which is hard to do when you get an arrow through the heart.
I do like that it definitely seems like the arrow was like in her kidney. Like it is nowhere near her chest, and she just goes, and just like, falls over. So, but yeah.
I mean, I
guess she is punished for the Hays Code.
We're a long way from, dusting vampires. I still have a problem with the Buffy the Vampire dusting of vampires, but that's who I hear dogs.
I mean, it fixes the problem that this movie touches on only a little bit, right? Of the like, okay, you've killed a vampire. If it's not turning into dust, then you have a body in front of you and a lot of explaining to do.
Which is why we have to arrest Van Helsing, because he has killed somebody. So the criminals have to be.
I still am like a little bummed out that they don't follow up on that thread. Like, I want the trial. I want him to have to explain to a jury of his peers that the guy that he killed was definitely a creature outside of human laws and morality.
That's like, a movie right there. There you go.
Yeah.
The Trial of Van Helsing.
Right? And this movie like gives you that little, it like hints at it. It like paws at it a little bit and then goes, we don't care actually. Like, on to Transylvania, which is fine. It's fine. This is a great movie. But I think the nubs of this movie could make 17 other fantastic movies.
Right. But there's a reason why everybody's heard of Van Helsing and nobody's ever heard of Dr. Garth.
Yeah, he kind of sucks. He's a dickhead.
There's no
Dr.
Dr.
Garth and
Garth.
Sandor can both go fuck themselves.
Name another movie where Dr. Garth is mentioned.
Well, and it's like the worst name, too. It's not even like a heroic name. Who cares about anyone named Dr. Garth? Like, it sounds like he's a podiatrist.
I'm looking for
I don't
Professor
care.
Wayne. Sorry. Just, you're not going to see that. And Garth isn't even a particularly intimidating name.
No.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you joining. I'm trying to get out of this now.
I'll never stop talking about this movie. I'm sorry. Okay.
I could sit and talk about this for another hour just because there's so many ridiculous things that happen in the movie, even though it's a great film and it's definitely one that you should at least watch once. Commit an hour of your life to watching the film.
Yeah.
You'll notice that there's a lot of really ridiculous BS in this film, but it's a 1932 film. How many films do you know from back then that had complete plot from beginning to end? No plot holes.
Yeah. I mean, it's silly, but it's good, and the problems with it don't outweigh your overall enjoyment of it and the overall, I don't know, value and put togetherness of it. So I hate plot holes normally. Like I get really angry when a plot doesn't make any sense. And with this, it's like, it's vibes.
1932. I'm not expecting that much complexity.
No, they did what they could with what they had, and it was cool, and it was fun, and it holds up. So
I learned a new word. I get to talk about vacillating now. So
see, it's educational.
There you go. Well, I mean, on behalf of myself and the rest of the podcast, thank you for joining us today. Do you want to aim anybody towards any particular socials or projects you're working on?
Sure. Well, Rachel, who is often a co-host of yours, she and I have our own separate podcast. It's maybe a little bit niche, but if you like Dracula's Daughter, maybe you'll like us too. The podcast is called Ger Can Get It, G-E-R, Ger Can Get It. It's all about the career of Welsh-Canadian vampire actor Geraint Wyn Davies. So he's mostly famous for Forever Night, which Rachel did a separate podcast about called Come in 81 Kilo. And we liked his acting so much that we decided to watch every single thing that he has ever been in. So stage, screen, everything that we could get our grubby little hands on, we have been watching. There's some high highs and there's some real low lows. So we've been going through his career. So if anyone wants to follow me on there at Garrett Can Get It, it has an Instagram page. It's on all the podcasting places where a person gets a podcast. So that's kind of where I live most of my days on the internet.
That is fair. I think I've listened to a few episodes of that as well because she had brought it up to me. I was like, okay, well, she made me watch Forever Night. So I got the first 2 seasons of Forever Night, and then there was like a third season or something that was like impossible to find. Ended up having
I think the third one is owned by somebody else, and they make it available when they do.
I had to hunt down the box sets. I can only find them in DVD. They don't have them in Blu-ray, which is miserable. Which would be nice, but
yeah, there's definitely a fan campaign to try and get them to upgrade it. But it's even trying to figure out who owns the rights has been kind of an interesting hunt.
That's a Canadian. I want to say a procedural. It's almost like a procedural cop show, but with vampires.
Yes, it is so good. It is one of my favorite things in this whole world. We just love it so much.
But that one cost me a pretty penny. It's just like, you shouldn't have spent that much money to watch it. I'm like, why? She goes, because you can get it online streaming.
This is true, actually.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, so I spent $80 for a box set of DVDs.
I mean, I can't judge. You can't see it behind me, but I have the original DVDs, and there's 2 versions of the DVDs, so I have both versions. And then there's a German version, and I went and I bought the German version. I don't speak German. I've never even watched it. Like, I have a jailbroken DVD player, so I could watch it at some point, and I guess I will. But it says Nick Knight, Der Vampire Cop on it, and I love it so much. So it lives in my Nick Knight, yeah, because that's his name, Nick Knight.
Sorry, Nick at Night.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. My brain went Nick at Night for a minute there, like Nickelodeon. No, maybe.
I grew up in Canada. We didn't have Nickelodeon in Canada, so I've missed a big part of the cultural references.
There were so many Canadian actors on Nickelodeon. How did that happen?
We had YTV. It was like our version.
Okay, so you grew up in Canada.
Yes.
Which is
yeah.
why, okay, Toronto, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm now
yeah.
noticing the Toronto shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck I missed that.
Huh.
Wow, okay. As for our podcast, you can find us on... I'm trying to get my brain back on track. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We are on Spotify and pretty much everywhere where audio podcasts are found. We are trying to spread the love everywhere and bring some more folks on. So yeah, keep an ear out. We'll be doing a few different director and actor interviews coming up soon. With some independent films that we've been talking to people about watching. I put out an all call. I was just like, look, I want to watch some independent films. Throw whatever you got at me. We've had a couple of guys on from like Slaughter Beach. They were some great guys, Dan and James and Bob. Bob wasn't in the film, but Bob showed up.
Okay.
Bob was a friend of Dan and James, and Bob was very, very funny. But he was the kind of funny that he was the kind. I would put him on like Sam Kinison level kind of funny, just a little bit vulgar, a little bit loud, but definitely funny as hell.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm talking about that now. Just talking about people we've had on in the past. I don't need to do that right this second. Just keep listening. We're gonna be. I want to pull out some weird films coming up soon. Next episode we're looking at is Suspiria, the original Dario Argento film. And I am trying to mentally wrap my way around something I can't get past. So I'm just going to do our regular closing, which is something Nico brought up like 3 years ago, and I haven't stopped friggin' saying because I can't think of anything else to say sometimes when we close the podcast. So drink some water, you thirsty bitches.
I mean, it's good advice.
It is.